Good morning, students. Myself Sanjay Surya Bhatt, lecturer in physics, working at St. Joseph's College, Karwar. So today's topic is differentiation. Now in first year physics, we have a chapter called motion in a straight line. Now in that chapter, there is an introduction of differentiation and integration. In detail, you will study differentiation and integration next year in mathematics. But for this chapter and for the first year, we need little bit of differentiation and integration. So in this video, today you are going to learn how to do differentiation, and in next video we will be covering integration also. So let's see what is meant by differentiation. First we will see the definition of differentiation. So what is differentiation? Okay, so differentiation, it is a tool, or we can say process by which you can find rate of change of one quantity with respect to another quantity. So now for example, rate of change of one quantity with respect to another quantity means, we will take one simple example. Now many of you know cricket, right? In cricket there is a run rate. Okay, we know run rate. What is run rate? Run rate means run changes, right? Run increases with respect to overs, right? So as over increases, run also increase. So this is called run rate. Now you might have seen those values like 6.5, this is run rate, or 5.3, this is also run rate. What is this? This is run with respect to over. So run changes with respect to over. So this is called run rate. Now similarly in physics, what we have is some quantities are there like velocity and acceleration. So we have quantity called velocity. So it depends on displacement or change in position. So as position changes with respect to time, we get velocity. And then we have change in velocity with respect to time, that is called as acceleration. So this is called as rate of change of position with respect to time. Rate of change of position means what? Velocity. Already we know these definitions. And rate of change of velocity is what? Acceleration. So now here today we will try to find velocity value and acceleration values using differentiation. Now what kind of velocity we are going to get, or what kind of acceleration we are going to get? Very simple, that is instantaneous values. There are two types. In first chapter we have two different values for velocity. One is called average and another one is called instantaneous. So already we know how to deal with average velocity and average acceleration also. They are very simple, but our aim is what? To find instantaneous acceleration and instantaneous velocity. So differentiation is what? It is kind of tool, or we can say as it has process. So using that process, easily you can find out instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. So this is the point. Okay, let's see how to deal with differentiation. Now main aim of differentiation is what? To find out instantaneous acceleration, instantaneous velocity. Today we will see how to deal with those 2 points. So here we have instantaneous velocity. Let's see how to find out instantaneous velocity using graph. Okay, that is first point. First we will see how to find out instantaneous velocity using graph. Next we will see without graph, okay, how to find out the velocity, instantaneous value, or instantaneous acceleration also. That is using differentiation. Okay, first let's consider x-axis and y-axis. Along y-axis we will take position, and along x-axis we will take time. So here we have one kind of graph. This is straight line. Now as we know, this particular graph indicates uniform motion. Now uniform motion means what? It gives constant. Uniform motion means constant velocity. Okay, this indicates constant velocity. PT graph indicates constant velocity for this particular nature. Now how to find out that velocity using PT graph? As we know, simply you need to get the slope. Now slope can be written as, because these points are well known for us, so I will not go to explain everything here. So slope, now for slope I will take A, this as point A, this as point B, this as point C. Next, slope means here in the graph, okay, this line, this straight line, it makes angle theta. Okay, I hope you can see this. It makes angle theta. Theta with what? X-axis or time axis we can say. So that theta, slope is also equals to what? Tan theta. And slope, it is denoted by small letter m. Okay, these things, these points you should remember. They are very useful. So m, it is what? That's how we indicate slope. M. And slope means what? Tan theta also. So tan theta for this particular triangle can be written as opposite side by adjacent side, that is AB by BC. AB by BC. So this slope AB by BC means velocity. If you find out slope or tan theta, that gives velocity. Another way of writing this slope is dx by dt. So please remember this, okay? I will explain it later, but please remember this. Slope equals what? Dx by dt. Now what is d here? D means it shows very small change here also, okay? Very small change in position, very small change in time. Also it is called as infinitesimally small quantities, okay? They are very small. So that this change in that quantity, position or time, it is very small, but the ratio is not small. It is finite value. Now dx by dt means, as we know, it is what? Velocity. Okay, so this is what? Slope, that equals to dx by dt. Now actually slope means what? Tan theta. Tan theta can be written as AB by BC using this particular graph. This is one way of getting velocity. Using slope. This is called graphical method. Now we will see one more graph. That is non-uniform. Okay. See, curve is not straight here. This is not straight line. Here we have position, here we have time. So one speciality about this particular graph is, if you take slope anywhere along this line, V value will be same. Now why it is same? Because already we have written it is constant. Everywhere in this particular line, along this line, V value is same. So it is called constant velocity or uniform motion. But in this graph, this line, it is not straight line, it is curved line. It means velocity changes from point to point. For example, if I want velocity at this particular point here, so for that what we should do? You need to draw the tangent, okay, and to that tangent find out the slope, okay. Now next, if I want velocity at this particular point, what I should do? Again draw the tangent and then find out the slope. So now in this first case and in this second case, velocity value is different. It is different means what? Velocity is changing, it is variable, okay. So now from point to point along this curve, velocity value changes, it is not constant. So now if you want velocity at each and every point or at any instant, okay, that value of velocity is called instantaneous value. So now by this process, here also you can find out slope in the same manner. Slope equals to, what is that? AB by BC. Okay, AB by BC means tan theta, that gives you the velocity. So only one difference is there. What is that? Here everywhere you get same value of velocity because it is constant velocity, and here at each and every point velocity value changes. Okay, that's it. That is the difference. Now next point is what? This is graphical method. So now if you don't have graph, if there is no graph, then how to find out instantaneous velocity? How to find out instantaneous velocity without using graph or slope and all. For that we need differentiation, and this differentiation there is an introduction in the first year that we will see now. Okay, and to get the differentiation you need to know some formulae and then some rules. Today we will see those rules as well as formulae, and we will try some examples also. Okay, right. See, these are some formulae and rules. To do differentiation you need to know these things. So how many formulas are there? There are 10 formulae. Okay, so out of 10, let's see first one. Here we have d by dx of x raised to n. So this is the way of writing differentiation. So we are differentiating one quantity. Okay, we are differentiating the quantity x raised to n. Okay, with respect to same quantity x. So how we write that? D by dx of x raised to n. So what is the formula? X raised to n differentiation is n x raised to n minus 1. Next we have d by dx of constant, that is equals to 0. So what is meant by constant? It may be any number, okay, constant value. So if it is constant, means it is not changing. Differentiation is what? Rate of change of something, some quantity with respect to another quantity. So if it is constant, it means it is not changing. If it is not changing, it means its value is 0. So it is very important. Next we have d by dx of log x, it is 1 by x. Next we have d by dx of e raised to x, it remains as it is, e raised to x only. Here we have some trigonometric functions, right, like sin x is there. D by dx of sin x, it is cos x. Next we have d by dx of cos x, that is minus sin x. So here many of the students, they have confusion regarding sign, when to put plus sign, when to put minus sign. So there is a trick, easily you can remember. So sine, when you differentiate sine remains same, plus only. That's how you can remember. Differentiating sine means its sign remains same. So when you differentiate cos, it causes change in sign, like that you can remember. So it is minus sign. It causes what? Change in its sign. So instead of plus, here you have minus sign. Next we have d by dx of tan x. So differentiation of tan x with respect to x is sec square x. Next we have d by dx of cot x. Okay, this is x. It is minus cosec square x. Again you can remember, with same logic you can remember this. Next we have d by dx of sec x, that is equals to tan x sec x. Next finally we have differentiation of cos x with respect to x, that is minus cot x cos x. Okay, minus cot x cosec x. These are some formulae, and you need to remember this one, very important, and this one. They are very useful. Then we have two rules. One is called product rule, another one is called quotient rule. So what is product rule? Here we have two variables, u and v, and we need to differentiate these two variables using with respect to x. Here we have the formula. What is that? You need to keep it outside, differentiate v with respect to x, plus keep v outside and differentiate u with respect to x. So it is u dv by dx plus v du by dx. This is product rule, and this is very important. This is very important. Next we have quotient rule. So what is quotient rule? It is used for this one, u by v, this form. This is product and this is quotient, u by v form. So how to differentiate u by v now? V keep it outside, du by dx minus u keep it outside, dv by dx, whole divided by v square. So out of these two rules, this first one is very important. Now let's see some examples. Let's see some examples for this particular differentiation using the formula. First formula. Okay. Let's see how to work out. Now here we have value called y equals to x square, y equals to x square. So how to differentiate y equals to x square? So this is actually, it is called as function. So this is new point here, right? What is function now? So here we have something called y, and that equals to what? X square. The meaning is very simple. Y, it is dependent on x. It means as x changes, y value also changes. This is the meaning. This is called as function. Now y is dependent function, dependent quantity, and x is independent quantity. So now you need to differentiate y with respect to x. How to do that? Let's write dy by dx. So what is the meaning of dy by dx? Rate of change of y with respect to x. So how to do that? d by dx of x square. So use the formula, this formula. So in place of n, here we have 2. You can see that. In place of n, here we have 2. And in place of x, here we have x only. No change. So according to the first formula, what is the answer? It should be 2 in place of n. See here. In place of 2. Sorry, in place of n, 2. And then x raised to what? 2 minus 1. So that is 2x. Very simple. Next, we will take one more example. Y equals to x raised to 4. Let's try this one. Again, it is very simple. Differentiation of y with respect to x. dy by dx, that equals to differentiation of x raised to 4. So use the formula 4 x raised to 4 minus 1, that equals to 4 x raised to 3. See, very simple. Now we have one more example, that is y equals to x raised to half, means 1 by 2. So let's differentiate this one. dy by dx, that equals to d by dx of x raised to half. Okay, so in place of n, here we have half. So how to differentiate this? 1 by 2, x raised to 1 by 2 minus 1. That gives 1 by 2, x raised to 1 by 2 minus 1 means minus 1 by 2. So you can take 1 by 2, x raised to minus 1 by 2 to the denominator. So that it becomes 1 by 2, this one. Then x raised to 1 by 2. Okay, so I hope this is very simple. Let's see one more example. Let's see one more example. This is little different. This is fourth one, right? Y equals to what? 4 x raised to 3. Okay, 4 x raised to 3. So how to differentiate this? Here you can see 4 into x cube. Here you can apply product rule also. Okay, without product rule also we can do. Now how to do that? Let's see. Without product rule, dy by dx, that equals to d by dx of 4x cube, like this. First step is take 4 outside. Don't touch this 4. Simply differentiate x cube with respect to x. Now for this, we will use again same formula. That is 4 as it is into n value is how much? 3. X raised to what? 3 minus 1. N minus 1. Same thing. So it is 4 into 3, 12. X raised to what? 3 minus 1, 2. So this is our value, differentiation. So that's how we differentiate the given function with respect to x, right? So now I will take one more, last one for this particular formula, that is y equals to 57, any number you can take, any number. So dy by dx is equals to d by dx of 57. So you know there is no relation between x and 57 here. So this is just number, one constant value. So if it is constant, means it is not changing. If it is not changing, means differentiation of constant value is 0. You need to remember one point here. Differentiation means what? Rate of change of some value, something, okay, some quantity. So if this is the quantity, it means it is constant quantity. It is not going to change with respect to anything. So if it is not going to change, means its differentiation is 0. Differentiation means what? Rate of change of something. So here it is not going to change, so it is 0. Now similarly, if you consider pi, y equals to pi, you can take anything, any constant value. Pi is constant, already we know. So dy by dx, d by dx of pi, what is this? Again 0, pi is constant value. It is not going to change with respect to x or anything. So it is 0. These are some examples. Okay, these are some examples you can go for. Okay, so now I will give you some problems that you can try. Simple problems I will give. You can try those things. Try this one, okay? X raised to 7. Second one, 8 x raised to 5. Next, x raised to 3 by 4. Fourth one, 7 x raised to 1 by 3. Then 89. Okay, try to solve these. This is like homework problem. You can try these things. Next, we have one more point. Differentiate this one. Y equals to 1 by x square. So now, in this case, what we should do? Take x square to the numerator. So y becomes what? X raised to minus 2. Now you differentiate. Dy by dx, that equals to d by dx of x raised to minus 2. So in place of n, we have minus 2. So dy by dx is equals to minus 2 x raised to minus 2 minus 1, that is minus 2 x raised to minus 3. Okay. Otherwise you can take x raised to minus 3 to the denominator. Then you can write minus 2 divided by x raised to 3. So this is the differentiation of this particular quantity. Now take one more example for this. Y equals to 1 divided by x raised to 4 and y is equals to 1 by x raised to 1 by 3. 1 by 3. Try these problems. Right. Now we know how to differentiate any given equation, or we can say given function. Let's see the application now. How to apply that in physics. Here we have x of t, that equals to t square plus 2t plus 3. So this is called one function. Now here we have position. X means position, and in bracket we have t. So it is x of t. It is not multiplication. It is x of t. What is x of t? X, it is the function of time. It means as time changes, you can see here, as time changes, position also changes. This is example of motion actually. Now, for example, t equals to 2 second. Then what is the position? Easily you can find out that. See, in place of t, in this particular right hand side, put the value of t, that is 2. 2 square is 4, 2 square is 4, plus 2 into 2 plus 3. Here we don't have t term, right? So it is 4 plus 4 plus 3. So the answer is 11. What is the unit? Here we have position, no? So position, it is measured in terms of meter or distance. So this is called what? Function. Okay, position, it is the function of time. As time changes, our position also changes. Okay, now next point. Without using graph, how to find out velocity? See, in the first part we have seen using PT graph how to find out velocity using slope and all. But here we don't have any graph, but we have one equation, function is given. So using that function, how to find out the velocity? So this is function. It is very simple. Already we know how to differentiate. Let's differentiate x of t with respect to what? time, because this position, it changes with respect to time. So this is the way of writing d by dt of x of t, right? Meaning is what? X, it is changing with respect to time. Rate of change of position with respect to time. So how to differentiate? Let's see. D by dt. This is the way of writing. In bracket, in place of x of t, what is there? T square plus 2t plus 3. Now apply this differentiation to each and every term separately. D by dt of t square plus d by dt of 2t plus d by dt 3. Okay. Now use the formula. Which formula? This one. X raised to n, differentiation of this one. What is the formula? N x raised to n. Use this. Now in place of x, here we have t, and in place of n there is 2. So how to apply? Next step. This is the formula. Okay. So apply this. D by dt of t square. So it is 2t raised to 2 minus 1. Okay. Plus 2t is there. What is t? Here t raised to 1 is there. So how to do that? 2 as it is, don't touch that. Next, differentiation of t with respect to t. This is power 1. Okay. So it is into 1. Just it is 1 now. So in place of n, you need to write 1 into t raised to 1 minus 1. Okay. Plus here we have 3. Differentiation of 3 with respect to time. So this is just number, constant value. So it is not going to change with respect to time. So differentiation of constant value, as we know, it is 0. Finally, 2t raised to what? 2 minus 1 means 1. So don't write anything if it is power 1. Then here we have 2 into 1, it is 2. T raised to what? 1 minus 1, 0. So it is 1 itself. Anything raised to 0 is what? 1. So just you write 2 here plus 0. Okay, actually no need to write 0 here. Let it be. Now this is what? Our rate of change of what? Position with respect to time. Rate of change of position with respect to time. Now by definition, rate of change of position with respect to time means it is instantaneous velocity, or you can write it as IV, instantaneous velocity. So now we have instantaneous velocity. Okay, this is instantaneous velocity. Equation for instantaneous velocity. So if you want value of instantaneous velocity, what do you need to do? You need to put value of time. So in the question they will give you like find instantaneous velocity at t equals to 3 seconds, like that. First step, what you should do? Differentiate given equation like this. Finally, you will get instantaneous velocity equation. Now in that equation, put value of t. That is 2 into 3 plus 2 as it is. So 2 into 3 it is 6 plus 2 it is finally 8. And here we have quantity instantaneous velocity. What is the unit for velocity? Meter per second. So this is the way of what? Differentiating given functions. Now then put the value of time. Finally, you will get instantaneous velocity. Now how to get instantaneous acceleration? That is our next point. Once you get instantaneous velocity, differentiate this again with respect to time, you will get instantaneous acceleration. Let's see how it works. So now instantaneous velocity equation is 2. This is the equation we have obtained. Now if I want instantaneous acceleration, what I should do? Differentiate this. Don't write IV every time. Better you write only V. V means instantaneous velocity. And how to denote average velocity? V bar. Okay, let's take this one. Differentiate v, dv by dt. Remember, it is again function of time. You can write t also. There is no problem. Okay, d by dt. Now, right hand side we have 2t plus just 2. I will mention one more point here. Time 2 seconds. At 2 seconds, you can take any value. Now differentiate this. It is very easy. First, d by dt of 2t plus d by dt of just 2. This one we know how to do the calculation. Take 2 outside. Dt by dt plus differentiation of constant. 2 is constant, so it is 0. See, here we have finally 2. Dt by dt means it is 1. Differentiation of some quantity with respect to same quantity means time with respect to time, position with respect to position. Okay, it is same. So in that case, here if you have only t, okay, or only x, in that case what happens? You get 1 differentiation of this. Now, otherwise you can, using formula also you can try, that is this one, nx raised to n minus 1. Using this also you can do. How? Here we have power 1, no? So here 1 will come and here it is 1 minus 1. 0. Anything raised to 0 is 1. So finally answer will be 1. So differentiation of dt by dt is what? 1 plus 0. Okay. So the dv by dt, this one, this is what? Instantaneous. Now after differentiating velocity with respect to time, you get instantaneous acceleration. Instantaneous acceleration. So it is denoted by simply a. So a value is how much? 2. Write its unit, that is meter per second square. Very important. So that's how we need to deal with given function. So first they will give you the function and they will ask you to find out instantaneous velocity and acceleration, and they will mention the time also. What you need to do? You need to differentiate given equation once with respect to time. Okay, if you differentiate position, okay, function, you will get velocity, instantaneous velocity. Next, if you differentiate that velocity just like this, you get acceleration. Okay, so this is the procedure. Let's see one more example. You will come to know how to do it. Very simple example I will take. That is, let's go for another simple example. See, again this is function. It is equals to phi t square plus 3t plus 4. This is one particular simple equation. What is the question now? This is given function. You need to find out, find instantaneous velocity, okay, and instantaneous acceleration at t equals to 4 seconds. This is the simple problem. What is the first step now? First step is differentiate this once. Let's do it. D by dt. Remember, when you want velocity using position, you need to differentiate given function with respect to time. So here we will write x of t. Next, d by dt of x of t, right hand side, it is phi t square plus 3t plus 4. Next step, d by dt, differentiate each term separately, phi t square plus d by dt plus d by dt 4. Okay. Next step, differentiate this phi t square. Here you can use product rule also. Directly also we can do. Keep phi outside and differentiate t square. D by dt, keep phi outside and differentiate only t square. Okay. Then here keep 3 outside and differentiate t with respect to t. Next, differentiation of 4. Already we know this. 4 is constant number, so its differentiation is 0. Next step, differentiation of t square is what? Already we know this from last example also. T square differentiation is 2 t raised to 2 minus 1, it is 1. So don't write the power 1. That's it. Next, 3 as it is, differentiation of t with respect to t. Okay, quantities, they are same quantities. So it is 1 plus 0. Finally it is 5 into 2, 10 t plus 3 into 1, 3. No need to write plus 0. So this is your instantaneous velocity v. Its value at 4 seconds. How to find out that? At t equals to 4. Put the value of t here. That is 10 into t value is 4 plus 3 as it is. Okay, you need to write that 3. So answer is 4 into 10 into 4 is 40 plus 3 is 43 and unit is what? Meter per second. This is the answer. Velocity is what? Final velocity is v equals to, not final velocity, instantaneous velocity means velocity at 4 seconds is 43 meter per second. This is the answer. This is half part. Now we have remaining part. What is that remaining part? If you want acceleration for this same function, what do you need to do? For that, take this value, this expression, or you can call it as function, okay, where we have this 10t plus 3. Take this and differentiate this again. Okay, equation before you put the value, no, time value, that one you need to take. So let's take that and we'll try to differentiate this one. Why we need to differentiate v here? Because we need acceleration. Rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. So let's do it. Simple, very simple. So v is the function now. V equals to 10t plus 3. Correct. So differentiate this. How to differentiate? dv by dt. Next d by dt in bracket 10t plus 3. Next step, d by dt of 10t plus separately d by dt of 3. Once you come to know how it works, directly you can write. Now I am explaining point by point. So now 10 you can keep it outside, d by dt of t here plus this one, 3 is constant, differentiation of constant is 0. So now this is 10, differentiation of t with respect to t is what? 1 plus 0. So the answer is what? 10. So this one, dv by dt is what? Acceleration, instantaneous acceleration. So what is the unit for acceleration? Meter per second square. Now finally we have answer for acceleration. So you can see one point here. What is that? No need to put the value of t, 4 seconds and all, because at the final equation directly we get acceleration without t here. Okay, so this is our final answer. Okay, this is constant acceleration, uniform acceleration we can call. So this is the way of getting the instantaneous velocity and acceleration using differentiation. So for you, I will give one homework problem also. Homework problem, you need to find same thing. X of t will be there, that equals to 7t square plus 8t plus 11. Okay, one equation, simple equation. At t equals to 8 second, find instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. This is your homework problem. Second homework problem is 6t square plus 4t plus 2. Again at t equals to 5 seconds. Find I instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. So now today here, so you have homework problems. Okay, here you need to find out instantaneous velocity and acceleration at given time. Here also we have same thing. You know the procedure. What is that? Differentiate this. Once put the value of time, you will get velocity. Differentiate it once. Okay, here also you will get velocity after putting the value. Next, differentiate it twice, you will get acceleration. Differentiate it twice, here also you will get acceleration. Try these problems. Okay, and for any doubts, comment below, and in the next class, next video, we will bring integration. Okay, and that is also very interesting topic. Thank you.